What up, 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 and another what up. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Rod and Don. We're in the building, Brooklyn Bears Ball Sports Show. We back at it one more time. So much good stuff to holler about. We got coming down to the stretch. It's the NBA. We got the NCAA women's basketball popping. Listen, there's so much going on, and we are in the building. But before we get into another fire app, we need y'all to do us a favor. We need you to hit that like button, smash it hard. We need you to get all the notifications. We need you to share on YouTube, Facebook, and comment, all right? And show us that love like y'all been doing. We appreciate it. Big D, what's good with you, bro?
Oh, man, it's all good. Very good games. Lakers are playing decent.
Oh, yes.
Iowa stuns. South Carolina. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. Let's get into it. Yeah, we do. Let's go. Well, let's start off with the NBA. Your Los Angeles Lakers. Okay, I'm going to say this. The Lakers have, if AD plays like this, you guys have a shot.
Yeah, a shot at what, though? Can you be clear about the shot? What shot is that? Shot to do what?
You have a shot to get through the play-in. Okay. I don't think... Listen... The way the Warriors are playing,
we're already in the play-in. We're in the play. We're going to play-in. Is that all?
But get through it.
Get through the play-in.
Okay. Get through the play-in, and at least get to the first round of the playoffs. But Anthony Davis, very strong performance. Very strong performance. My only problem is with subpar teams that the Lakers are playing, they still allow themselves to get behind, and they got to kind of come out of it. They got to drop. They got to force their way back, and they got to have a ridiculous fourth quarter in order to actually win. And I think with better teams, I think that's going to be a problem. I think teams, once they have a substantial lead, they won't let the Lakers get back in. But Anthony Davis playing like this, I can't knock it. I mean, he needs to, for the playoffs and for the Lakers to be successful, he needs to be between 25 and 30 points a game. And if he does that and he's active as he's been on the defensive end, you guys got a good shot. What do you say?
I say we can actually, and I know this might sound a bit far-fetched and outlandish, but I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it, and I want America to hear this. The Lakers have a chance to at least get to the Western Conference Finals. You thought I was going to say a championship, but no, I'm going to say the Western Conference Finals. Because the way that this team is playing, defensively, now there's some things I'm still concerned with. I don't like the turnovers. All right, the turnovers are still a little bit of a concern for me. But the way we play defense and the fact that we lead the league in the most free throws, we get to the line at least almost 28 times a game, which is quite a bit. In fact, I think we're plus 428 in free throws. You know, that many more than our opponents take. And so the Lakers, as you stated, D, and I totally agree, AD is balling. If AD stays the way he is and continues to dominate and stay aggressive like he is, and even yet last night, I was a little concerned, you know, with Gobert and then with Towns, and I thought maybe AD would have struggled against the bigs there, but he found his way, and we were down by 8 in that third quarter, and we just went like on I think it was like a 24-2 run, because it was really our defense that clamped down. And you know, the Lakers we are the number 1 defensive team in the league since the trade, and our efficiency is number 5. We are balling defensively, and so the Lakers getting into the play-in should not be a problem. I'm not worried about the play-in. If we end up not getting the 6th seed and we got to go in the playoff, then we'll do that, and we'll beat whoever we got to beat and get into the play-in. Denver and Memphis do not want to see us, okay? They don't want to see us. We're not the team that you want to see in the playoffs in the first round, at least not in the first round, because you still got a crazy LeBron and you still have a crazy AD. Jokic plays no defense at all, and our defense is playing the way it is. Listen, it's a problem. And the Lakers, now we come the Lakers that everybody knows them to be, and regular season goes out the window. So, yeah, that's my take on that. I don't even care. It's just all about getting into the playoffs. Once we get into the playoffs, it's not a problem. And I'll say this little last thing. I see your point about the weaker teams or the subpar teams, and the Lakers kind of struggle. I'm not really worried so much about that because it's not going to be a blowout. I mean, Minnesota's a good team. They won 4 out of their last 5 games before last night, too. So a lot of teams are playing. Towns is back. A lot of teams are getting acclimated because a lot of guys who were injured are back in the lineup now, and they're starting to get their gel and get their feel and chemistry. So I'm not really worried about that. And then this is only LeBron's 3rd game back with the team as well. So there's still some mixing, and I'm still a little concerned in certain spots with him. But I like the way that the Darvin Ham has got the rotation now. It looks like he's finally figured it out between AD, D'Lo, and LeBron, and how their importance on the court at separate times is necessary. So, yeah. But, yeah, Western Conference Finals, D. Yeah, I believe the Lakers can get to the Western Conference Finals.
So you see that LeBron's numbers haven't been as impressive as they were prior to the injury.
No.
But
and they don't actually need to be. But go ahead.
Do you think it's rust? Do you think that he's just kind of working his way back in? Or do you think he is kind of coasting until the games really, really matter? I mean, although all of them matter, but playoffs or play-in, you think he's going to elevate his game?
Question.
Because he only played 32 minutes, which is low for LeBron.
Yeah, it is. And I think you're spot on, actually. And I think it's a combination of all of those things you mentioned. Coasting, making sure he stays fresh for the playoffs, still getting acclimated, still new team, finding his way, getting used to the guys in some of their roles. And then, too, just coming off the injury. There is some rust there. I definitely agree with that a little bit. But, LeBron has always been able to bounce back from injuries and kind of play. But I don't expect him to be that 30-point scorer that he was before he left. I don't think, and he doesn't need to be now. He had to be with the lineup we had before because the team was just so bad. So he had to do so much more. But now, that's not there. And with the way AD is balling right now, LeBron does not have to be that level of an aggressor unless he just chooses to, or maybe the game dictates that for whatever reason. But I think, to your question, all of those presupposed scenarios, in my opinion, it's dictating the way LeBron is finding his way back right now. So we're not going to see the 30-point LeBron, but I do think we're going to see the efficiency of LeBron, and obviously that's what's needed. So yeah, and he'll be ready for the playoffs.
So you're predicting that we'll have a consistent 30-plus point AD, because one of them is going to have to have 30 points a game.
Yeah, it'll be AD. No question. AD will definitely, and I think AD could easily 35, 40. I mean, that's almost what he's balling about right now. I mean, he's unstoppable. He cannot be stopped. He really can't. And let me make this real quick point about AD real quick, D. When he went down and hurt his ankle yesterday, the old AD would have just walked off the court and that would have been it, right? He would have just succumbed to whatever pain he was feeling. I think now, for the first time in his career, because of the talk, I think because whatever the pressure LeBron has been putting on him, AD is now learning how to play through pain. Like, in other words, bro, listen, there's a difference between being hurt and being injured. If you got a little injury, a little tweak, play through it. Like, you're not that, he's injury prone, but at the same time, there's a lot of injuries that AD probably could have played through his career, but just chose not to. He just quickly succumbed to it. But I think now he's understanding the importance of, like, yo, bro, get your mental toughness up. Like, stop being so weak and so fragile when it comes to just every little poke in the eye. And, my eyebrows got twisted to the left a little bit, so now I got to go take a break. I got to go into the locker room and fix my brow. Like, yo, chill. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, yo, bro, play through. Just get your it's mental with AD. And I think now we're starting to really see that, because there was a few games already in this stretch where he got hurt and was in some pain, but he played through it. And yesterday he was writhing in pain last night for while both teams were running back and forth up the court, scoring mad buckets without even calling a timeout. And I thought it was I was like, oh my God. And I literally started praying. I laid hands on the screen. I was in the Jesus name. I was calling out fire from God. I was doing everything I could possibly could, but to God be the glory. He prevailed. So he got up and played. So yeah, but I think it's a mental thing now, D. Yeah, for AD.
So let's revisit a question that was asked a month or so ago. Will Anthony Davis get another max deal?
I still don't think so. No.
Come on.
I don't know. I don't think so. No.
With all of what you just said, the new attitude, ooh.
Nah.
Now, you don't think he's going to command a max deal? if other teams, specifically the Lakers, they're going to have the first shot, and they see that he has a new, renewed um, drive. He's
Uh-huh.
going to play through injuries, which was always been his knock, and
Right.
he's able to now carry a team.
Right.
You don't think they're going to try to um, lock that down?
No, I think because, and the reason why I say I don't think they will. I think the Lakers could offer him maybe a 3-year deal with either, maybe a player option, or it could, depend upon how it's negotiated, a team option. And here's why I say that. I think things are going to look a little different now. I think owners are a little bit nervous with the whole level of guaranteed money that you're going to give these stars because of the injuries, because of the load management, because of a lot of things. Look, AD is still, his history is what it is. And I'm saying right now, his mentality has gotten better because we need him right now. If the Lakers were sitting where Memphis is right now, then AD probably doesn't play, right? But AD still has, his mentality is getting, at least it appears to me, this is just my personal opinion, but I don't think the Lakers will give him still that level of contract security, because I think it depends on how the team is constructed, how the team is set up. They got to be able to get other pieces in there, and you're going to still need another star to play along AD, because again, LeBron, right? You got to know that he's not going to stay there forever, right? And maybe another year or two, but LeBron's going to need help, and you're going to need another bona fide star in there. So you're going to have to be able to create the cap space for that. And I think teams
which they have.
Which they have, but you still got to get the right pieces.
They got some space.
Yeah, but those other guys could end up, they playing for contracts too, and then there's no loyalty to LA. They could take another.
Oh, wait a minute. Not the person that said Austin Reeves is he can be a castaway.
Yeah, I mean,
remember,
Reeves could,
he's going to get paid.
He's going to get paid. I mean, the Lakers can offer him, but if another team offer him some money, that's more than what the Lakers are offering, because you got AD and LeBron, because you got to, they eating up most of the cap. That may not happen. He can.
And another thing,
yeah,
the reason I do think Anthony Davis is going to get a max deal is because the NBA and the union just came up with an agreement. It's 65 games is the benchmark. So once you hit 65 games, you're eligible for all of the, awards and,
MVP
first
stuff,
team,
right.
whatever,
NBA,
all your
NBA stuff. Right.
So, they already know. As long as, so that pretty much is baking in a load management part of the season.
That's correct.
You just have to manage it well.
Right.
But you already know 82 games, as long as I play 65, I'm good to go. Just kind of sprinkle that out and manage it how you want to, I won't do this back to back, or I won't do this. But yeah, I think he's if he continues to play like this and he plays like this in the playoffs, God forbid, but if they get to the Western Conference Finals, forget about it.
I mean, I don't
cemented.
disagree with you. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you. I still think going forward, just the way the team has to be structured and the dynamics of still keeping the Lakers competitive post LeBron, I don't know. It's interesting. I just don't know. And AD is getting older, but yeah, AD just I wouldn't be surprised if they do give him a long term, but I just don't think the Lakers, any team would give him a 4-year max. I just don't know. I still don't see it. I think there will still be some skepticism there and some trepidation on some teams that do that. So yeah, just again, it's history, but yeah,
we'll see what happens. Let's quickly talk about Golden State for just a quick minute. Only reason why I'm bringing them up is because they had their big three, Splash Brothers and Jordan Poole, put up 90 points, or I think over 90 points.
Yeah. Right.
You have an opportunity, the Lakers do, to bump Golden State out of that spot and kind of secure it, because you guys are the 7th and they're the 6th, right?
Correct.
And I think it's only a game and a half.
Yeah, so it's one game actually. Yeah,
one game. Okay.
No,
so
actually,
what do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think you guys have an opportunity to kind of pluck them out of the 6th? Because I really don't think they're going to move up to the 5th.
No, I don't. I don't. And I tell you what, when I look at Golden State's schedule, right? So they've got Denver. Denver's not even playing starters right now, really, right?
No.
So, I mean, there's a good chance they'll beat Denver. Now, OKC can give them a problem. They've got them on Tuesday night, all right? So I'm looking for OKC.
But is SGA playing?
Well, he played last night, and he balled
Okay.
out last night. Yeah, he balled last night. Yeah, I think he dropped like 40 or something last night. So he'll be
Nice.
playing. So he'll play, and then you got Sacramento, again, depending upon how they feel, because, again, these teams will have nothing to play for. They're already clinched, and then Portland, forget about it. So they'll probably win that game. So they could go two for two, in the last 4 games that they have. So really for the Lakers, we just have to win out. The Lakers have to win out. And that's the only way we can get it. I'm hoping we can get the 6th seed. That's what we want, so we can avoid the full play. And that's why LeBron came back in the manner in which he did, and the timing in which he did, for that very reason, because he wants to try to get that 6th seed spot. So yeah, I think we could get it. Yeah, we could get it. Just depends on what the Warriors do. We've got Houston, we've got Utah, we've got the Clippers, we got Phoenix, we got Utah again. So our schedule is a little bit probably it's probably a little tougher than what Golden State has, only because Denver and Sacramento have nothing to play for per se. So our schedule's a little bit tight coming up. I'm a little concerned. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but I like.
Rod, speaking of Portland, they shut down Dame Lillard.
Yes, they
Now,
did.
do you think that's the team making the decision, or you think that's Dame kind of factoring in not getting injured again, or does that completely destroy his whole narrative that he put out about the NBA changing and too much emphasis is placed on championships? Why would you shut it down then? You still got games to play,
Right.
fans still want to watch you. What do you
Sure.
say?
I say real quickly that I think is nonsense. And again, Dame should have and can say, because he has the cachet to do that, to say, hey, I want to play. Like, why would you not play? Why, are you hurt? Are you injured to the point where maybe they don't want to compromise your future or going into next season or something? Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, Portland, yeah, you were still mathematically in it. Anything could happen. So my whole thing is to not play, and you one of these stars, and then you talk about it's not about the championships and all this stuff, and how you kind of have this salty position about all that. To me, you gaming. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should have been playing. I don't care, and that's why that's the only I hate about the NBA. I feel like these players just get to just do what they want to do when it comes to sitting out and taking time off, and they get to determine what's important. Like, what about the fans, man? Like you just said, D, you got people that want to see you play. You got people spending good money that still want to see you play and at least have the experience of watching you play. And to get shut down like that, I'm putting that all on Dame, not even in an organization. Because even if they wanted to do that, I still think they could have said, look, you know what? No, we're going to play. It's not like when Jordan got hurt back in the early part of his career and Chicago wanted to shut him down. Jordan wanted to play, but they were thinking about their future, right? Chicago wasn't going to win anything, and not that Portland will either. But at the end of the day, you still want to be able to be competitive enough to play it. I would think Dame, being a superstar like he is, he would have wanted to play. So yeah, to me, it makes him look bad, in my opinion.
And especially after making that statement, talking about entitlement of players.
Correct.
That should have pushed him to even say, hey, listen, I know you guys want to shut me down. Even if my minutes are, kind of reduced, I still want to be out there, because someone may come at the end of the season. Tickets will be cheaper because we're pretty much eliminated, but at least someone can see me play, a fan or, a kid that looks up to me, can come watch me play. But to shut them down and then have all of this, it's an entitlement and it's too much put on this, but yet you're still getting a big pay and getting shut down with 10, 15 games left, just doesn't match up.
Nah, it doesn't. It just looks bad on Dame, I feel. Yeah, you're right. I agree. Totally agree with you on that. Yep.
Well, let's talk about these Brooklyn Nets. Somebody said that they would be in the play-in. Someone said that, pretty much they would be
I don't know who said that. Who said that? I never said
You.
Brooklyn would be in the play-in. I never in the play-in. No,
You
I
said
didn't say
that we
y'all.
would be out of the play-in. I
What
said
do you
5
mean?
to 7.
Yeah.
You said that we wouldn't be in the play-in. We would lose all the way out. Do I need to go in the archives
Okay,
and
I
look
think I
at what
did say
show
that.
you
Yeah,
said
I
that?
think we
Oh,
may
I
have
think
to.
I did say
But
that.
I think I
Yeah.
did. Yeah, I think I did. I think I did. I think I saw.
And
it.
I said
Yeah,
that
you're right. That's right. Yeah.
Kyrie and Katie gave us enough cushion. Plus, we play
You
well
did say
enough
that.
we
Yeah.
should be okay, and we would be somewhere between 5 and 7.
You did say that. Yeah.
Worst case scenario, 7, which
Yeah.
is considered a play-in. But
Right.
listen, we made
Right.
quick work of Atlanta, and maybe that team is
Yeah,
in
Atlanta's
flux.
trash.
It's
Yeah, they are. Big time. Big time.
you know.
But it's a win.
So-
Don't take. I wouldn't downgrade it though. I wouldn't. I wouldn't take anything away from it though. It's still a good win.
Oh, we're gonna take every win we can get. I'm not
Yeah.
downplaying it.
Yeah.
I mean, because who'd the Lakers beat yesterday? Y'all didn't beat nobody.
Minnesota's a good team.
Okay, not Minnesota. The game
Yeah.
before last.
Oh,
Who'd y'all
Chicago.
play? Chicago. Okay.
Yeah.
So you take a W is a W. So I
Yeah.
won't knock it, but
Right.
just so you know, just so your brother knows, Corey, we're coming. I
Yeah.
think if somehow, some way, we get to the 5th and we play, well, I just don't think we will be able to. But if we ever got to play in the Knicks, I think we could handle them. And I don't think if we end up in the 6th and we play Philly, I think that's going to be a better series than what people think it's going to be. What do you say?
No, again, I think we talked about that on the last show. I think we talked about with the Philly. I think with y'all possibly playing Philly, I don't think y'all will beat Philly in the final. I mean, in the first round though. That won't happen. I just don't think so. No, not Philly doesn't crumble they don't crumble usually until later in the playoffs. I don't think they're going to get bumped in the first round with you guys. I don't think you have enough firepower to beat them in 6. In a 7-game series. So I think you're better off if it was a situation where you could get into the 5th seed, you were able to play Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? Cleveland, this is for you. If you can play them, then maybe, that would be a really interesting series. I mean, anything can come out of that series. But I don't think y'all will beat Philly unless Embiid gets hurt, or something like that. But I don't think so. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. I think we're gonna see a different Harden in the playoffs too, because Harden now is being a facilitator like he is, and he scores in measurements, and he's a little bit more measured and deliberate in his scoring. I think you're gonna see now, because he doesn't have the same pressure put on him as he had in Houston. I think you're going to see a different kind of Harden show up in the playoffs. I really do. And Maxey is balling, as we know. And I don't think y'all will beat Philly. Look, if you're a Net fan like yourself, D, you got to just, you're happy. You're happy that, you.
Please don't give us a consolation prize.
I'm gonna give you a consolation prize.
We don't want that.
Let me see.
We don't want that.
Here's a trip. Here's a 2-day trip to. To Brooklyn.
Mount Airy Lodge or
Mount Airy
Pocono
Lodge. I remember
Palace.
Mount Airy Lodge.
Mount Airy
Lodge. Remember that?
You have the champagne shaped
right
tub. Nah, no thanks.
And here's some shampoo. You know what I'm saying? And then you be able to rock with that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I just think no, you're looking at if you're the Nets. Look, you're gonna go out with honor. You're gonna go out with with dignity. You guys are fighting. You got a really good core of young players. Bridges is a beast. I think that he can really elevate to being a really good superstar in this league at some point. So I think you got something. It just depends on what y'all do in the offseason with these guys. And I love I'm a big fan of your boy, your coach. I can't think of his name now. I'm drawing a blank now, but
Jacques Vaughn.
Jacques Vaughn, thank you. Vaughn, I'm a big fan of his. I really love what he did. I think that was a really good hire. In fact, I like that more than the Udoka hire that would have been.
I don't.
Hire.
I don't,
Yeah.
but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but
he's done a lot. He's had to deal with some adversity, losing your superstars, still trying to ingratiate new players, still have them believe and buy in. So yeah, he deserves respect. But Ime, he's not.
No, I think Ime, he's not. But I think Ime, we don't know what Ime is though. If we could really be honest about it, right? I mean, he led, obviously Boston. He led a team that I don't think we didn't expect Boston to play as well as they did last year. Mind you, they did get, they caught some breaks along the way with Middleton being hurt and everything during the
But
playoff
look
run
at
there with
I'll
Milwaukee.
say this
But
real
yeah,
quick. Look at
yeah,
the
go ahead.
big, we know what he is because look at the big jump from Brad Stevens to him. So what they do is they usher Brad Stevens upstairs because he still has a brilliant mind. They don't want to lose him. But Ime took them to a whole nother level.
He did. He built on what Brad had already done, right? Brad wasn't able to get this team over the hump. He took a Brad Stevens team, which it was Brad's team, and he took these guys, gave them a certain mentality, and brought them over. So he had one successful year where he took something that was already planted, already had foundation, and he brought it to another level. That's different when you have a team like what Jock is dealing with, where yes, he had Kyrie and KD, but it was a mess, right? He didn't have anything really to work with other than those two superstars that created a lot of turbulence. At least Brad Stevenson had two young stars where he was still able to play and keep these guys paced at a competitive level. Jock had nothing to work with because Brooklyn hadn't accomplished anything when they fired Steve Nash. And so he had to take them, and he had those guys playing well. And then when your stars got traded, he still was able with these new guys. And to your point, he ingratiated these guys. To me, that's a better coaching thing. To me, that's better.
I'm not saying he's not a good coach, but my question is, based on what you just said, if a coach is not able to elevate great players beyond something, or a team is already set and they have position players, and now this new coach is able, because it's already made, is now doesn't get the same credit for bringing that team to the next level. What do you say about Steve Kerr and Mark Jackson? Because if you want to base it like that, then we shouldn't give Steve Kerr, because everything was already in the oven. It just wasn't done baking and getting to the championship level. Mark Jackson was the chef.
Yeah, he was.
So who gets the credit?
Well, I say
because ultimately Steve Kerr was the one that actually benefited. The team benefited. They got championships once Mark Jackson was out the way. They brought Steve Kerr in, and then and the same difference. Brad Stevens was a good coach, but couldn't get them to where they ultimately wanted to go. Now, although Boston didn't win the championship, that was a huge jump from just the season, prior with Brad Stevens.
No question. But that's what I think and this is how I would split this down the middle. Kerr had an opportunity to still prove that he was a good coach, right? Because he was able to take the foundation that Mark Jackson had laid, but then he also was able to get them to the mountaintop. They won, but he was able to maintain it, right? Still bringing in new parts, new pieces, establishing a better culture, right? And still able to get more out of his superstars. But he had an opportunity to prove that, much what Phil Jackson did with the Lakers after he took over for Del Harris and winning a chip in his first year with the Lakers. The thing is this, Ime didn't get a chance to do that, right? We didn't get a chance to see if he can have some sophomore success as a head coach. So to his defense, he didn't get a chance to do that. But then on the flip side, we still don't know if he's still that kind of coach that was going to be able to maintain that success that Boston have. Because look what we see with this kid right now, right? Their coach right now. This coach we don't see any different. Zula, right? What's the name? Say again.
Methuselah. No.
Methuselah.
Mazzulla. I think his name is Joe Mazzulla.
Joe Mazzulla, right? So Mazzulla is doing. So he may have discredited Ime to some degree, right? Because again, he took a team that Brad Stevens built, that Ime was able to take to the finals, and it looks like they're final prone again, right? For all intents and purposes. So he's done a good job with this same team. So I'm just saying, like, in other words, we don't know. Ime was never given that opportunity. But when you look at Jacque Vaughn, I think y'all made the better hire, in my opinion, because I think he is going to have an opportunity, unlike what Udoka does not get right now, unless he gets hired again. that he gets an opportunity, Jock Vaughn, that is, to really now start from ground zero, right? He gets a training camp with a team, whereas the head coach, he gets to now really mesh and get guys in there how he wants to get them in there. And I think you're going to see a lot of success with Brooklyn going down the road. Y'all only, if you get another superstar to come in there and play, listen, the Brooklyn's going to be good. If you keep Bridges in that core and Johnson and you keep Finney and those guys, and Finney balled out last night. Listen, I think the Nets will have something. Trust me. Y'all will be much better. Brooklyn is a team that does better when it's more organic, to me. From what I've seen in the history since I've come to Brooklyn, is that there's more success organically when y'all build your team. When you brought in Paul Pierce and Garnett, that was trash. KD, Kyrie, trash. But when you had your core, when you had LeVert and those guys, you know what I'm saying?
Don't say KD, Kyrie, trash.
Jared Allen.
It just didn't work out.
Yeah, well, it was trash. It was a trash.
So let me ask you this before we move on.
Yeah.
Do you make a big deal or think it's a big deal the way Boston handled the Bucks?
Oh, that means nothing to me. Nothing.
Yeah, I think ultimately the Bucks are a better team.
They are.
I just think
they are.
The Celtics were just on one.
That's all. It was right. It was just on one. D, you're right. I agree. Yeah, that's it.
But this, I was talking to one of my boys who's a huge Bucks fan, and I teased him, "Hey man, you getting washed." But I agree that the playoffs, ultimately he had his excuses, and he typically blames Middleton for everything. Although I tell him, you can't win without Middleton. Long story short, we both agree that the playoffs are going to be really exciting.
It is. It's going to be very exciting. And if you're Boston, you better not take anything away from that victory either. You know,
right?
Yeah, stay humble. Yeah, that victory meant nothing. So, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So, lastly, well, now we got one more topic. Who wins the MVP? Because it was Joker, then it was Embiid. Giannis was mentioned. There's been a lot of back and forth as to ultimately who's going to win. Right. What do you say?
I got Embiid, man. I think Embiid has balled out greatly. Jokic, to me, has slipped a little bit. You know, the team hasn't played particularly well. And if this is obviously a regular season award, right, then it means you've got to show that stellar performance and dominance throughout the regular season, right? And even though teams have clinched, but you know, in Denver, the thing that I think people are going to look at with Jokic is that, okay, Denver has the number 1 seed, and you know, so that still means something by way of what he was able to accomplish in terms of leading his team to regular season success. But I still would give it to Embiid only because of the defensive side of it, because their numbers are very identical in a lot of ways. So I think the one thing that Embiid has that Jokic does not have, and that's the defense. And
plus the scoring. Embiid's average is, I think he's averaging almost 10 more points a game.
Yeah. Because he's at 33, right? So he's definitely averaging more points. And I think the defense is there, though. To me, I think the defense thing is the piece for me that I think is critical, that I think should set him apart. And the way he's been playing recently. I think that, you know, sometimes people are prisoners of the moment, depending upon how the voters will see it. And if they're looking at what you see down the stretch here, and he had a huge block against Doncic the other night, you know, that was critical to their win right there. So, again, showing how he's playing both ends of the floor, my vote is for Embiid.
I think ultimately Embiid will probably win. Although I think it's only been Bill Walton was the only one that missed as many games as Embiid and still won the MVP.
Yeah.
So we'll see if you know, some of the old school voters will hold that against him, how many games he's missed as opposed to you know, Joker or Giannis. But you have to keep in mind that the Bucks with Giannis, they have the best record in the East.
Right.
And Joker, they have the best record in the West. So will that give them an edge, either one of them? I think it's a 2-man race, pretty much. I think it's between Embiid and Joker. But
Oh yeah.
I think they
Oh yeah.
may give the nod to Embiid ultimately because his body of work is extremely impressive. Now, what
It
he
is.
does, I actually want him to win because I think he'll falter in the playoffs because that'll be, you know, he'll get that feather in his cap, and
Yeah.
then
You talk about
the
Embiid.
Embiid will
Okay.
get it. He'll get the feather in his cap, and then the irritable bowel syndrome will hit him in the middle of the playoffs, and then that'll be a wrap. And hopefully, the Nets play him, so maybe that. I don't know. We won't beat them, but I think it'll be better. It'll be more competitive than people think.
Yeah, definitely. It will be. It will be. So yeah, and then Jokic actually has he's averaging nearly 10 assists a game, whereas Embiid is only averaging 4, right? But that's not Embiid's game per se. But again,
No,
he's almost averaging 2 blocks a game, right? 1.7,
exactly.
and Jokic is averaging just under a block a game, right? So I mean, again, it balances itself out because to your point earlier, what you said, he does have way more. He's averaging 10 more points than Jokic, Embiid, that is. But I still think Embiid gets the nod because of the defensive end of it all that I think is I like. So we'll see. And it could come down to some politics too. Look, Jokic done won two MVPs already, so let's throw Embiid a bone. Who knows?
Yeah, apologizing for the momentary freezes. I'm using hotel Wi-Fi.
That's right. He's
Lastly,
traveling, y'all. He's in Brooklyn right now.
right. Lastly, let's talk about a devastating loss. South Carolina women's basketball riding a 42 game win streak. They go down to Iowa. It was very, very competitive. Honestly, I'll say that women's basketball, the NCAA playoffs have been more competitive on the women's side than men's, personally. Right. That's not always the case, but this particular year, I've been kind of glued to it, and I was pushing for South Carolina to win because Caitlin Clark, she's a really good player, but she's so smug, and that was like, please wipe the smugness off her face. And I think they didn't put the best defender on her until she had already had 28 points. Right. And once you let someone that is a natural scorer get hot like that, it's too late.
Yeah.
So, she had 40 points. The game prior to that, she had a 40-point triple-double. First time in men's all-women's history that she's had a 40-point triple-double. Comes back with South Carolina, who you would think would be able to, and they did abuse them on the glass, offensive rebounds, second chance points, and still caught the L because she was unstoppable. What do you say?
No, she was. And in America, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I haven't watched any of the NCAA games, men's or women, to be quite honest with you. But still staying obviously somewhat in the know. But I'll be honest, I hadn't, and this is shame on me, right? But I not have heard of this woman until Don, my co-host, brought her to my attention. And to see what Caitlin has done, winning MVP, most valuable player, I guess, in college basketball, obviously. I watched her last night, and I'm gonna tell you, bro, she was powerful, man. She was awesome. That girl, she plays like a dude. The way she handles the basketball, her awareness, her IQ, her skill. There's been a lot of great women basketball players throughout the years that, listen, we've seen them from the Lobos to the Leslies, to
Cheryl Swoops,
the Cheryl Swoops. Okay, I mean, just off the chain. We've seen a lot of really great women basketball players, especially at the collegiate level. Then of course they're translated to the WNBA. But this she's different. She's different. And I get the smug thing because she kind of reminds me of Aaron Rodgers a little bit. She has that Aaron Rodgers kind of smug, like I kind of know I'm I'm better than you guys. You know what I mean? She's, right. You guys are nice, y'all good, you good, but I'm just so much better, and I don't really need to, ingratiate y'all like that. You know what I'm saying? But because even yesterday she said during the interview, with the ESPN folks up there that was doing the post game show, and she was just like, Like, yeah, well, the defense is good, but I know I can get around just anybody. I know more like I just can't be stopped. I
And
can
did
get
you
around
see her
anybody.
on defense
Yeah.
where she was supposed to be playing someone and just waved them off? Like, you know how Draymond was doing Westbrook, where they
Right.
stayed in the
Yeah.
paint and let
Right.
him, he had 10 feet.
Right.
She did
Exactly.
that to another girl, just waved her off. Like, she stayed in
Yeah.
the paint
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like, I'm not covering, you can't shoot threes.
You can't shoot and the girl that she was doing that to, that actually was hitting, those 3-point shots. I think it was Cook.
Right. She had a good game.
Yeah, she had a good game. Now, she only shoots 21% from 3-point range, okay, all season long. So that's why Caitlin was like, listen, we'll live and die with that shot. We don't care. You'll make them and you'll make them, then we'll live with it. But we ain't devoting no defensive resources to you because, again, that's just doing her homework and understanding, the intel on the player. And she said, look, if she makes it, she makes it. And that's the whole thing. And then the girl was killing her. But I'll say this, what I felt with South Carolina messed up at, and I was a little surprised, is I thought that girl Cardoza, I know she's off the bench, the center. That girl she was doing it on the inside. And if they were able to get the ball into her, I felt a little bit more effectively. They could abuse them because I was a small team. Those, because South Carolina they got some tall players in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You got Boston and you got Cardoza,
who had a bad game. She had a really bad game.
Yeah, Boston.
She got in
Boston
foul trouble early. Couldn't get into any rhythm. But they have treetops, so they should have. And they just couldn't maximize on the rebounds.
They didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't. They just didn't. I felt that they should have found a way to get the ball inside. Now, to South Carolina's defense, they did collapse more into the paint because I guess they were aware that that's where their mismatch was going to be. And so they tried to collapse and make the entry passes very difficult because they had South Carolina was horrible in getting the ball inside. It was more like volleyball. It was just tapping the ball around each other. Right. And it was like, will somebody just grab the ball? You know what I'm saying? It was like nobody was able to get position. But when Cardoza was get the ball inside, whether it be off the putbacks, whether it be coming inside, you know what I'm saying? I just think it was that's really where they should have gone more, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I think it's going to be an interesting final, LSU and Iowa.
Yeah.
Hopefully they take some notes and LSU tries to figure it out, and hopefully they can force someone else other than Caitlin to beat them.
Right.
Because if you let her roam free and get other players involved, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Totally agree, D. Totally agree.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But listen, Rod, good show, man.
Yo, good show, D. No doubt.
Yeah. Shout outs to Infinite Audio for the music. Shout out to Kingdom Creative for the production.
KC.
Dealing with, being on location and still being able to put out a great show. Rod, once again, thank you for joining.
No doubt.
Until next time, please, once again, like, share, subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube page. We appreciate all the comments. Until next time, peace.